I'm here to talk to you today about plants and how amazing they are and why they're the coolest things ever. First of all, they don't run away, so they're a little easier to study. But besides that, plants have a lot of really awesome adaptations to help them survive in a lot of different conditions. So I want to show you plant seeds first. A lot of seeds have hard coatings on them, so that way they can survive harsh conditions and wait till conditions are better. And look at these lovely seeds right here. If I threw this into the wind, it would carry it away and spread the seeds a lot further, so this particular species could spread out more. Or like acorns, for example. These are nice and hardy, and they can bury themselves down in the ground and be planted later. Or you've got some burrs here that can just, hang on and away they go, and you never know where they might end up growing. And then, of course, one of my personal favorites, maple trees have these cool little helicopter things. So when they fall from the tree, the wind might just catch them and away they go. So I love plants because of that. There's another tree called the jack pine tree where its cones actually won't open unless it gets really hot. So that means maybe there's a forest fire that came through. Obviously you would want to grow more jack pine trees after they all just got wiped out, so that would be the perfect time for these to heat up and open up so the seeds could go start some new baby jack pines. So I just microwaved this for like 30 seconds and came up with similar results. It kind of opened up. It didn't explode like it would if it was in a really hot fire, but same idea. Another adaptation that plants sometimes have is so they don't dry out, because you might know plants need a lot of water for photosynthesis. Well, if you're in a hot, dry climate, you might have some waxy leaves, kind of like this aloe plant here. So I was going to demonstrate that. If I spray water on just some regular paper, a little bit of it drips off, but a lot of it soaks in. But if it soaks in, that also means it might dry out. But if we put a little waxy coating on here, then you've got a little more protection there. So if it's not going in, that means water is also not coming out. A lot of plants can actually close their stomata, the little openings, during the daytime when it's too hot, so they don't lose that precious water either. Plants also have a lot of hormones to control how they grow, if their shoots and roots should grow longer, if their fruits need to ripen or get bigger. I have a little package of gibberellic acid right here, and this is a particular plant hormone that can help fruits get bigger. So that's kind of neat. Farmers know a lot about this stuff, so they're able to harness those powers and get their produce to do what they want it to do. Where's my corn seed? I lost it. So we'll just say this, for example, acorn seed, corn seed, any kind of seed, they know which way is up and down. So if I were to stick this in the ground just any old direction, all of its cells actually know which way is up and which way is down. So it can sense gravity. That way we don't have roots growing into the air and then branches trying to grow in the ground, because then it's not going to be able to do what it needs to do. Every year, trees grow a new ring. So I have this nice ponderosa pine here from South Dakota. And you can see each year there's a light part and a dark part. The light part would be the nice growing season, so like spring and summer, and then more of the fall and winter would be the dark part of the ring when it's not growing as much, there's not as much sunlight. So those two together would make 1 year's growth. So if I counted this up, this would be a pretty old tree. But they can tell a lot of stories of good years, bad years, fires. You can even see where branches stick out. Someone even nailed a sign on this tree, and wherever it got cut, actually cut right through the nail on that one. So it's kind of neat to see the different story of trees. A lot of foresters will use special measuring tapes where they can wrap them around trees to find out what the actual diameter is across the tree without having to cut it down, which would be great. We don't want to have to cut the tree down to find out how old it is. Or you can stick a special coring device through the middle and just pull out a thin sliver, and that'll give you all the rings as well and be able to help you study the life of that tree. That is just a few tips and tricks and adaptations on plants. I hope you're inspired. Please never peel the bark off of a tree, because that's the living part of the rings right underneath there, and it's like trying to drink out of a straw with a hole in it. It just doesn't work, so that part of the tree could die. So please be careful on that. And remember that without plants, we wouldn't have food and we wouldn't have oxygen. So they're amazing all around. And think of all the medicinal uses that we have. I mean, I could go on, but I'll stop now.